What's up? I'm Trent Windsor, and we're here in search of the perfect shuffle. It's time for another segment of clearing out the archives where I shuffle my music, and whatever album it lands on, I review that album song by song. If a song is more than 50% skippable, if I would skip it more than half the time, then I say get rid of it, get it out of your playlist, out of your shuffle. But if I would skip it less than half the time, I say keep it around. It's a good addition for your perfect shuffle. Last time we shuffled our music and we landed on The Queen is Dead by the Smiths. If you're ever wondering what that is, that's The Queen is Dead on vinyl. This is my favorite album by my favorite band. If you haven't heard of them, the Smiths are an essential indie rock new wave group from the 80s. Singer Morrissey and guitarist Johnny Marr team up to form a formidable duo of incredible songwriters and just really emotional guys. I would talk about the other people in the band, but they just don't matter that much. The thing is, the Smiths were only together for about 5 years, but within that time they released 4 studio albums and just a slew of singles and bonus tracks. The Queen is Dead is the third of their 4 studio albums and is my personal favorite. Hopefully you'll be able to understand why it's my personal favorite as I review it song by song. The first song on the album is called The Queen is Dead. It's the title track. It's an upbeat song with these weird warped guitars. It starts out with an old ballad, an ode to London, and it's all very tongue-in-cheek. It's a song about politics. It's a song about how Morrissey is disenchanted with, unimpressed by the monarchy. He calls the Queen her very lowness. He mocks Prince Charles, and that's all within the very first verse of the song. There are no punches held back here. The thing about it is, I don't care about British politics that much, if at all, but this song is so good and so interesting, so poetic, that it makes me feel like I'm in on the joke. It's a little introduction to the magic of Morrissey and Marr's songwriting capabilities. This song is 35% skippable. The next song on this album is called Frankly Mr. Shankly. This is a super bouncy, happy tune. The bottom line of this song is that the protagonist is sick of his job. He just wants to make more of his life. I love Morrissey's poeticism in this song. He says things like, I want to live and I want to love. I want to catch something that I might be ashamed of, which is just a really fancy way of saying I want to be so sexually active that I catch an STD.
What if I want to have sex before I get married?
Well, I guess you just have to be prepared to die.
Prepared to die.
He says, fame can play hideous tricks on the brain, but I'd rather be famous than righteous or holy any day. Really interesting ways of saying this job sucks and I could do way better. It's poetic, it's funny, while at the same time it's downtrodden and very relatable. So I would say this song is 25% skippable. Oh, I just felt the darkness hit my soul when I read the title of this next song. This song number 3 on this album is called I Know It's Over. And here's where we're introduced to the Smiths and their incredible penchant for being so sad and so very depressed. This is one of the saddest songs of all time. In really simple and unpoetic terms, his crush found a new love, and he's really sad about that. He never told his crush about his feelings, but they moved on. The way that he describes how he feels is just so incredible. He says, "Oh mother, I can feel the soil falling over my head. And as I climb into an empty bed," oh well, enough said. Oh, just right in the heart. It's a more poetic way of saying I kind of want to die. At one point he says, "Love is natural and real, but not for such as you and I, my love." Just really deeply sad stuff, and so poetic. It's said in such a way that you can really feel it hit. The highlight of this song for me is the imagined monologue from his crush that is absolutely heart-wrenching, and there's no way I could possibly describe it in my own words. And then all of this is just backed by this dreamy, dreary, heart-rending guitar from Johnny Marr. These incredible chords that just, really draw that emotion out. It's so incredibly real, and it captures an emotion that a lot of us have had. This song This song is 10% skippable. We're not done with the sadness. Song number 4 is called Never Had No One. This one is a little bit more straightforward, maybe kind of a spiritual successor to the previous song. He's just talking about how he's so incredibly lonely. He compares his loneliness to being a stalker in the way that he is looking in from the outside, but nobody really wants him around. This one is an incredible showcase of Johnny Marr's talent as a songwriter and as a guitarist. The last minute and a half of the song is 100% instrumental, and it really just brings out the emotions almost better than Morrissey's lyrics can, which is an incredible feat because of how poetic Morrissey really is. It's so good that Morrissey seems to be kind of crying in the background, so I don't know how much it takes to make Morrissey cry. This song is 20% skippable. Song number 5 is called Cemetery Gates. It's very upbeat, it's very light, which is a nice juxtaposition from the previous 2 songs. It's kind of a still life of 2 friends who spend their sunny days visiting cemeteries and reading poetry and trying to write poetry, reading the headstones in the cemetery. This song is kind of Morrissey's caricature of himself. He really did go visit cemeteries in his free time. He really is an incredibly well-read poetry fan, and maybe just a little bit of a snob about it. It's a fun song, it's very self-aware. I would say this song is 25% skippable. Song number 6 is called Big Mouth Strikes Again. It is an incredibly harrowing song. The whole song, you kind of feel like there's some sort of impending danger. In this song, the protagonist is being burnt at the proverbial stake for saying something that they shouldn't have. Morrissey says that now he knows what Joan of Arc felt like. It's so hot. There's these really interesting, very haunting pitched up vocals that join Morrissey's in later choruses. It feels like he's haunted by himself. That quote-unquote self-haunting grows and grows as the song nears its end. It's an incredibly relatable song. Everybody said something that they regret. Everybody said something they wish they could take back. And this is Morrissey saying he is the king of the big mouth, which I think anybody who's followed Morrissey in the years since the Smiths could 100% agree.
So, Obama, is he white inside? It's a very logical question, but I think he probably is.
This song, I would say, is 20% skippable. Song number 7 is called The Boy with a Thorn in His Side. This is an incredibly sweet yet dejected song. It's very sappy, but in a really great way. He just wants people to understand where he's coming from, understand his music, and just to like it. He says, the boy with a thorn in his side, behind the hatred there lies a murderous desire for love. He may be kind of an ornery guy, but he really just wants people to love him and his music. When the Smiths performed this song on Top of the Pops, the video that resulted is my favorite Smiths video of all time. Morrissey has the most incredible dance moves. He's like a possessed cat or something. He just moves the way he feels, and it's not the way any other sane person would move when they felt that way. But Morrissey just really gets into it on this one. His vocal runs on this song are incredible. Morrissey shows off his pipes, his incredible voice, and really brings you into that emotion. This is a song that I would say is 15% skippable. Song number 8,
Vicar in a Tutu,
is probably the least captivating of the bunch. It's an upbeat, light tune, basically criticizing how the Church of England runs. It's all very tongue-in-cheek, all very playful. What makes this song worth it for me is at the very end, Morrissey once again just shows off his incredible vocal skills. He just sings I'm the living sign over again, but his vocal runs are captivating, honestly. Really great. For that reason alone, this song is 40% skippable. The 9th song on this album is called There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. This is a classic, especially among Smith fans. It's an incredibly melancholy, moody song. Johnny Marr's guitar sets an incredible, darkened tone for this song. The persona is sitting in his room. He's just begging this unknown person to take him out tonight. He really only feels like he is happy with this person he's singing about. So much so that he'd rather die in the car ride than return home and be without this person. This song is definitely Morrissey at his best with these incredibly poetic lyrics, very emotional performance. And it's also Johnny Marr at his best as well. The dark and melancholic guitar during the verse and during the bridge drastically changed and are juxtaposed with this bright and euphoric chorus, really laying out and demonstrating the difference in feelings between the loneliness that the persona feels at the time and the happiness that he feels like he could achieve with this person he's singing about. This song is 10% skippable. The final song in this album is called Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others. This song is a social commentary about the objectification of women. Basically, Morrissey just makes fun of people who are so focused on the size of women's breasts and not anything else. He makes fun of how men have been this way for decades and centuries and millennia. The final stanza is what really captures me. He says, "Give me your pillow, the one that you dream on, and I'll give you mine." He's more concerned with a woman's dreams than her body, and he hopes that their dreams align, that they match up. This is another one where Marr's guitar work really shines through and really brings this song to the next level. This song is 20% skippable. And those are all the songs on the album. Altogether, mathematically, combining all these songs, this album as a whole is only 22% skippable. The Queen is Dead is my favorite of the Smiths albums because in my opinion it is the most personal. The topics on this album are all very real and very individual. A crush finds another romance, saying the wrong thing, hating your job, just downright being lonely, longing for someone else. They're all sentiments that, when expressed plainly, can sound kind of whiny or unpleasant or ungrateful, or maybe that's just how we expect people to take it when we do express these emotions. Despite that, they're real feelings that many people have felt, and Morrissey and Marr write such amazing songs that express these emotions so perfectly that others feel like they're not alone in feeling them. And that's something that I think is really incredible. And ultimately, I think that's what art is all about. Let's shuffle our music and see which album I'll be reviewing next. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and head into our music library here. We're going to go into albums and we're going to hit shuffle. All right, looks like the next thing I'll be reviewing is Red Friday by YG. If you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those notifications. I'll link some videos for some of the songs I talked about in the description below. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Smiths. Let me know what you think about The Queen is Dead. Let me know what you think about Morrissey's dance moves. I think they're pretty stellar. I'm Trent Windsor, and this is The Perfect Shuffle. Proverbial